All on, guys. This is Fruit Trees in the Hood. I'm your host, Kielo.
I'm Limo Man.
I'm Raheem.
This is Jalen or J2 Maza.
And we have our special guest today with us. We got Vivid in the house, man.
What's going on?
All right,
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thanks
Pleasure,
for coming
fam.
on.
Pleasure.
Obviously, on short notice. How's everybody's weekend going? Kielo, let's start with you.
My week, honestly, I really love this week. I had to say goodbyes to, some of my young folks at placement. Loved them to death. They gave me like a card and they signed off a whole bunch of stuff. It was really, really nice. But, great week overall from start to finish. And then the end, today, we're here at filming. I'm here, I'm excited. How was your week, man?
Pretty boring. I'm on break from semester, so I'm just living my biggest chud life. What about you?
It's a little in between. It's like semi-chud, semi-bored. Like, I haven't been in Toronto for a while. So coming back, adjusting to the Toronto lifestyle again. It has its challenges, but, we're here, fam. Could be worse.
Of course.
I don't even know, to be honest. It's been a very transcending phase, I guess, in my life. And so I've just been growing,
My week's good. I mean, I was sick the last week and a half prior to this, so this is like my first week where I haven't really felt like awful, so I'm happy this week.
Respects to that. So I wanted to touch on the transition phase. You said you're going through that. Like, how would you kind of describe that if you're like open with that?
Like, I don't know. It's a very weird time because it's like, I got so much in my mind. Like, everything is just like, this is what I want to do. I got to do this, this, this. But it's also like, I'm not there yet. So it's like, I feel 1 minute it's like, oh my God, so much growth. And then it's like, you feel stuck in a sense. And it's like, you feel like you're not doing enough. But it's really just like, I guess, about that patience, I feel, at least I need to work on. And really settling in and appreciating that phase of life, because it is a beautiful experience to go through.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we were talking about that the other day, actually, the past couple of days. Like, we're growing up and, we're all going through these times. We're trying to grow into young men, young women, and we're trying to establish ourselves. So, we go through periods and it's hard to really try and fit in because there's no blueprint. Life is ever changing. We're in an ever changing, landscape. So nobody's ever going to have it together, but the beauty is the growth. And that's why it's kind of like, for as bad as it might be in the start, it's so poetic and it's going to lead you to so many more like different pathways for sure. Yeah.
No, exactly. Like, it's like the path to enlightenment, At least that's how I feel about it.
Was.
And so just to clarify, because no one really said the topic, but we're talking about like just coming of age stuff, just like how you guys feel in terms of being 19, being 20 in this like youthful phase, transitioning in that sense, or like something else.
I feel like, I don't know, like I feel like age is a concept. It is like a construct. It's something to measure, And in some aspects, yes, like it does like for sure align with like the typical like milestones associated with age, but age isn't necessarily definitive of the experience,
I actually like. I'd like to like add on to that. When you say age isn't definitive of the experience, we talk about like how our Black youth of color, like they accelerate their childhood. Some of them don't even have a childhood in terms of like you get to a certain age, you become a provider for your family. You become a supporter, a substitute provider. You start like your life becomes. I don't know how I'm trying to articulate this, but you guys get what I'm trying to get at, right? Like
Become like a surrogate father.
You gotta grow up
yes.
quick.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of people have that experience, especially people of color, whether you have like mother or father in your dynamics. And I was actually thinking about this the other day was I feel like when you're young, if your life is like that, you don't really get the opportunity to think ahead. Because
Absolutely.
at 13, 14, I was thinking about owning like businesses and stuff like that. But the how to and like thinking about the development of the world, like I'm not thinking about the internet. I'm not thinking about technology. I feel like you don't have an opportunity to think in detail about things like that because you have to grow up quick. So your thoughts are very like surface level. Like, yeah, I want to be a business owner. But you don't think about the steps that you need to take to be a business owner. You know what I mean? So I feel like it is important, and you kind of have to understand, and also if you can't create that time, you got to find a way to create the time. And for most of us, it happens when it's already too late. You're already 19, 20, 21, credit card debt, school loan. Now now you're trying to build yourself at a time when you should have been thinking about these things before you even got into the position.
Yeah. That's one thing I want to highlight too. Like, I think my grade 12 year, I was in this little youth program. Shout out Daniela, shout out Reem and them. We had some people come in from like this trade like organization where they get youths from the hood and they support them, try to get them jobs. Some of them have records. Some people have family. It goes up to like 27 or something, and it's a nice pathway. And they were saying like, yeah, you guys are young now. You guys have so much time. Man should focus on that now and actually kind of figure out what they want in detail. Like, yeah, everything's all surface level, but you know, with the time that you have now, when you get to our age, you get no time. Mans are in college, you guys are in uni, and you guys might be in something that you don't even know if you're gonna do. I hear mans are taking nursing, mans are gonna be in like finances, and they don't even like it. They're gone a whole year later. You wasted maybe about like 8 racks for the year, and it's game over. So I feel like we gotta really recognize the time that we have younger growing up. Because our minds are so broad. We were so creative. We're out in the wild. We're skipping stones, finding out games, playing on the playground. We're being
Remember
so creative.
Manhunt, yo?
Manhunt in the lane was
Used
so
to change
top
hoods,
tier,
bro.
fam. Holy. So if we dreamed so big back then, I feel like we lost that push over the years. And I guess, like, where would you say it kind of disconnected for us?
Well, or did you want to chime in?
I think a big disconnect was like COVID. Because think of it like this: 2018, 19. Coincidentally, Doug Ford just got elected for his first term, I think.
Shout out to
then we went into lockdown, and Ontario had like the strictest COVID restrictions out of all the provinces, even across like maybe North America. I don't know if that's true, but either way, it's like the push of lockdown that like transcended the internet. Everything became online. Like it started off as just learning. Like man stopped going outside, and then after that, it was just like, oh, if we're not doing something set, like what's the point? It just changed the mindset. I think that's had something to do with it.
I think, yeah, like you're saying, the human experience being digitized, being put on a screen,
Yeah.
that definitely does disconnect. But also back to what Vivid said earlier, like to kind of expand on that, when we compare, and not that it's something healthy to be doing to compare, but when we look at other races and how like they grow up and people in other socioeconomic classes, it's like their youth have time to dream, they have time to play, they have time to go to after school sports, clubs, they have time to try. Exactly. They get to make all of these life mistakes that we're forced to make in our adult years, and we're forced to pay for with adult consequences. You know, nobody has time to be making the mistakes you should be making as a youth. You should be experiencing all of the things you're passionate and unpassionate about. You should be able to like find out what you like, what you don't. We don't have that opportunity. Sometimes it's a financial hurdle for people in the hood. Sometimes it's just like you're surviving, and that's all you can do at that given point. You don't have time to think about anything else, you know?
Yeah. In the hood, it's always literally fight or flight every single day. Like, it's either I'm walking through the hood and I have to look over my shoulder every now and then, or it's like, damn, some shit's about to go down, and it's like, it's pure action. You can't freeze. There is no freeze. If you freeze, you die. That's really what it is a lot of the time. And in the hood, you just got to keep going keep going or you crash. If you keep going and you get yourself in a little problem, then it's like shit. All that money that you got towards, having towards your family, it goes to shit because now you have to get freed and you have to go on bail. Shit.
And when you say keep going or you die, a lot of people, when they picture that type of like message about the hood, they think of the gang members, the man them on the block, the niggas that are, but think about the mothers, the fathers, the people raising families, living paycheck to paycheck. They literally have to survive or they die. They live in the exact same, they're neighbors with some of these guys. So when you're giving general statements about people from these communities, you have to remember, like, it's more than just whatever they're portraying of us or what they're putting as the poster boy of our hood, of our neighborhoods. Because even on my way here, one of my Uber drivers, dude said he's an immigrant he's working 4 days in Toronto, 3 days in London, Ontario to see his family. And he only gets to see his family 3 days out of the week. He's trying to get his permanent residency. He's trying to move his family out of the hood into Hamilton and stuff. But, like, guys like that, if they don't work, they die.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Sorry, even my friend, he was saying, like, he finished the same program as me. So, like, with the skilled trades, like, the real issue you're only going to face is not having a connection. So it's like, if you don't have a set company lined up, ready to have you going, you can just, like, 1-2 weeks off the job. It's like, you're fucked. Especially if you have expenses, like medical expenses to take care of. Say you have to take care of your parents or whatever. You got bills on top of that, car payments, all of them, they just stack up. There's no catching up once you're behind. And then you're just playing a game of catch up. So.
Yeah. And what I was saying outside, too, we're an economy of debt. We have no economic literacy. Like, damn. Just genuinely damn, bro.
And when you think, like, even back in terms of, like, high school and preparing our youth for the future, I guess, like, there was never an emphasis on anything, like, remotely realistic. When I think back, or I guess I just graduated. So, yeah, when I think back to high school, it's like, after I graduated, they introduced the classes that teach students how to do taxes.
Yeah.
That should have been the most basic level of schooling.
It's kind of like growing up through school, they push, you got to get good grades, you got to go to college, you got to do something with your life. But they don't give you enough time to figure it out because you're always learning about certain subjects that we really don't use, or, like, I don't know. I feel like the learning curve is measured very wrong, especially in today's world. It's not modernized at all. So that's an issue for another day, though.
Sorry, you wanted to say something?
I'm okay.
I wanted to say something. I wanted to ask you, like, were there any useful, I guess, courses back in, like, your days that mans could have done or, like, probably got rid of?
The most useful thing that I had when I was in school, and I'm a little bit older than you guys, but and they probably still have it now, is the co-op. Because at least then you can pick something that you're interested in.
Absolutely.
And you can get real life hands-on experience. And actually, like, I did electrician for my co-op. And it was like at a service shop. And I'm like, yeah, no, this is not what I want to do. Like, they're literally sitting down waiting for a light to go out so they can finish the light bulb. Like, I think I want to do a little bit more with my life than this, right?
Yeah.
But, thinking about everything you guys said, I had one teacher when I was probably in the 12th grade that was like, yo, we're not going to do no work this week. I'm just going to teach you guys how to build a resume, like just different life skills that you could use. And that was the most useful thing. And, my motto in life is less is more. And as a young person coming out of high school, like, I feel like you do a lot of things because of pressure. Not always peer pressure, but sometimes it comes from your parents or pressure you put on yourself. Yeah. And definitely, when I look back at some of the decisions I made coming out of school, it's all pressure-made decisions. What I really wanted to do was nothing, because I didn't know what to do. And I feel like when you don't know what to do, you shouldn't be doing things. It doesn't make sense, right?
Absolutely.
Take a minute, assess Wagwan, and figure out what's the best path going forward. And because of pressure, I didn't do that. And I selected something that, and I regretted it before I did it. I regretted it when I did it. I regretted it after. And to land everything that I'm saying, I would say that no matter what you do, make sure the decision is your decision, because you're going to have to live with it. and you don't want to be able to say, oh, my mom told me to do this, or my friend gave me this advice, so I went with this, and now I'm here. At least make your own decision, so wherever you end up, you're not looking around, you're looking at yourself.
That goes to what I said in the creek. I said, bro, no matter what, always be confident in the decision you make. Something that you're content with and you'll die for. That's how, like, you know, let's say something goes to shit and, you know, you're in the depths of it. At least, like, you can say you learned a lesson and now you have to bounce back from it. You know, you're prepared through every circumstance. You know, whatever you're faced with, take risks, fam. Least you could do, just take it. You won't die. You won't die if you take a risk.
One thing I wanted to kind of touch on was how he was saying you did the electrician program, like you hated it basically throughout, after, before. Like, I wanted to like kind of speaking to like the parents and the like OGs, elders in our communities. We gotta like create space and give opportunities to these youths to do exactly that. They need to figure out what they hate early on, so they don't spend their life in adultness, their life miserable. You know, nobody likes a miserable adult. Nobody likes a miserable person. And like, when we're forcing these kids into these youth into streams of opportunities they already don't align with, they just have to do to survive. It's just like, you know. But yeah, moving on. Another thing that was like a really big epiphany for me in the last kind of week, not epiphany, I guess, but so a realization in the last kind of week was that when we're talking about racism within our own communities, you know, because living in Jane and Finch, other neighborhoods like that in Toronto as a whole, Canada, it's a very multicultural type of space. You know, a lot of cultures intertwine to weave the basket of whatever community you live in. And so within those cultures, though, somehow one constant is that black is bad, black is taboo, stay away from black. That is like the consistent consensus amongst all these different groups of cultures in and around Toronto. I kind of want to just like have everybody chime in on like their own experiences, thoughts on things like that. Anyone want to start us off?
Reem, you have any takes?
I don't know. I feel like it's just weird. It's like you can grow up somewhere your whole life, see, you're told one thing, and it's kind of like we can all see the actions after being told that thing.
Ooh, I'm so sorry to cut you off, but it kind of ties into this thing called a single story. You know what a single story is? Nah. So basically, stereotypes. The base form of a stereotype. You hear something about a certain race of people, and that's you'll always look at them through prejudice. And the single story, based off of that, becomes someone's identity. So if you go outside, someone wears a ski, automatically, oh, you think this guy's about to do something, da 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 da. Or maybe I'm just wearing all black. I'm chilling outside, but I'm black, wearing all black. You think I'm gonna do something kind of crazy, you know? And it's kind of insane because it's so normalized through every culture that, you know, when you look back on folks like us, colored, it's always tied to some sort of like negativity, violence, or a gang affiliation, and it kind of gives us a bad look on the community. Because again, to the first episode, I said our city, not our city. Well, actually, our whole city is full of talent. Our community is full of talent, and every time you hear about Jane and Finch on the news, it's like, yo, there was a shooting, this, that happened, da 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 da. And it's never highlighting.
Did you guys know there is one WNBA player and one MLS player that came straight out of Jane and Finch?
Oh my God.
It would never highlight those talents. Latasha Lattimore, shout out her, and Kamani Stewart Baines, shout out that guy. Those guys are doing great things straight out of our neighborhoods, straight out of our hoods. You know, you never hear about that. You wouldn't even know because it's not part of the agenda that fits the uniform of what Jane and Finch is supposed to look like. None of those things make sense for us, so they won't, you know, they wouldn't broadcast that to the greater city. But yeah,
I feel like, and this might be like a left take, right? But I feel like, okay, this is a fact. Like, Canada is a much younger country in terms of like development and structure wise compared to like America or like the UK, for example, right? A lot of us are like first generation Canadians in our family. Like a lot of our parents are immigrants, right?
Right.
Over time, when we start having kids and our kids start having kids, like that won't be the case, right? And I feel like a lot of this whole prejudice, it comes from culture-based things. And as you guys said, like, you know, we're mixed up with different cultures. So a lot of it is just things we're taught from our parents, right?
Right.
But when you start going to school and that brown kid is friends with a black kid, or the white kid is friends with the black kid, or whatever the case is, I feel like over time, these things, I feel like it dissipates over time, naturally. Because people are into, like, black culture. Like, every race is into black culture.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But because of what they're taught, I feel like they'll celebrate it quietly, but denounce it out loud. Like, they don't want to look like they're a part of it, but when they go home, they're listening to whatever. You know what I mean? So, but I just feel like over time, especially with all, like, bro, there's so much, like, I hate to make it sound like dogs, but crossbreeding going on, like different races having babies with different races. Like, you know, your mom's Indian.
Was I just called a fucking crossbreed? Like,
I'm sorry.
But, like, because, you know, like, obviously as a kid, you know, you don't know what's going on. I used to just think black was supposed to be with black, white was supposed to be with white.
Yeah.
And when it mixed, I was like, whoa. Like, yo, they're going against the grain. Like, you know what I mean? But when you think about it now, like I was talking to my dad about it, like, yo, eventually, there's not going to be no white people. But minority will be the dominant race because everybody's mixing.
That's a genuine fear that white people have. They talk
and
about the
that's why-
extinction of them.
See, and this is why everything you're talking about certain things not being promoted, it's because we're just not in power right now, right? They're in power. And as long as they're in power, they're going to try to keep things a certain way. But that's what I'm trying to say. Over time, it can't sustain because, you know, and I'm not even like a whole history guru thing, but if you think about what makes sense, they're only acting like this because they didn't have control at one time.
Exactly.
And now they have it and they're trying not to lose it out of desperation. So, I don't know. We won't see it in our lives. Our kids probably won't see it. But one day, the tables will turn. It has to.
Okay. I mean,
I feel like it's a numbers game.
it is a
at that
numbers
point.
game. At the end of the day, like,
Or what I always feel like is best is we should just gather all the people that think like that and just put them somewhere. Like Australia or something. Like, and let the rest of us just live in the world. Like, you guys go over there and live and you won't have to be racist or you won't have to be whatever because you're only seeing yourself. You know what I mean? So,
and I think that's another thing. Like, they would hate that because the whole concept of racism is they can't really thrive unless they know that you're doing worse than them. Like, they could be at rock bottom, but as long as you're sediment, they're good. You know? That's like their whole ideology. And that's why, like, in terms of like class disputes, like the working class and stuff like that can never unite. And that's how they divided people in the first place. Because it's like the white identity, all of that was created on the basis of, all right, we'll keep the colors in line as long as we have a group of people that think they're better than them for whatever reason, and we'll give them something to think that, you know? And so, like, to tie it to what you're saying, yeah, it's a numbers game. It's a control game. But also, at the end of the day, like, I kind of would like to see that reality in my life. I'm not going to lie.
the bigger problem is, though, we need to unify within ourselves. That's the bigger problem. I feel like black people are always talking about what white people are doing to them, but they're not talking about what they're doing to their own people. Once we figure that out, nothing else will matter. Right?
Yeah,
because we'll be unified. But that's the first problem.
Yeah, speaking of unified and black people doing shit to their own community, niggas seen Scotty Barnes get his chain snatched? Did you guys, please tell me you guys saw that.
I'm yet to see the video, but like low key, it's so crazy. You think it affects his game, his playoff? Because look, fam, it's the playoffs right now.
Bro, he's
It
a
is the
person.
playoffs.
Of course. He's a man too. He got robbed. His chain got snatched. He's from the community, right? There's people back home like, yo, you let the man take your things like that? Like, of course it affects him. Obviously, he's rich. He's Scotty Barnes. He can get a new one. There's probably insurance on the jewelry. You know what I mean?
Nigga got Geico 50% insurance on the
Man,
chain.
like, this is why the world is the way it is. We all have egos. We all have pride. We all have emotions. This is why we do fuck shit.
Holy yeah. And I was gonna say the Drake Iceman stuff. Holy.
I saw someone on TikTok say they got a bunch of people to do the first manual labor they did in like that shit was hilarious, bro.
Yo, I'm seeing mans with pickaxes. I seen a hair dryer. Mans are getting cuts like mid just everything. And in 2 days they found the date. Like I didn't think they were gonna get to it that fast, to be honest. I'm kind of shocked.
Yeah.
My question is, did nobody try salt?
I feel like that's a long process.
You would be salt melts ice.
Those are hard, like ice blocks, though. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
they're
know.
not normal.
That's
ice
true.
They
That's
took
true.
Some heavy salt.
Like Aquafina ice stuff.
I also heard they had to use our tax dollars to take that down. Question mark?
I mean,
We paid for
Oh.
that, no?
Drake adds to the economy, so
Drake asked the whose economy?
definitely
Whose economy?
the world. Canada's.
How?
You think they got tariffs on his sales?
Tariffs on the new album? Because my thing with Drake is this. Just like how Kendrick says he's a culture biter, he goes over there to bite culture when he needs bands. In the same vein that he's a culture biter, he is a culture abandoner because he could have done so much more for the. Not to say he did nothing, because that's gonna sound uneducated and uninformed. He did a couple ones. He did his thing, but
What more do you guys want?
Sam, I'm just cheesed.
What's
I'm
something
just
what's missing?
cheesed that God's plan was not recorded over here.
Yo, why the fuck was that shit in my ass?
That's my
About that.
biggest thing.
I won't lie.
That broke my heart for real.
What? Okay, God didn't say He's just blessing Canada.
Yeah, but like he
God's
also
plan is a world's plan. He
Okay,
could,
but
he
think
could have
of
done
it-
that anywhere.
Hear me out.
Oh, in the music
Hear me
video, the
out.
music video.
Hear me out.
That's
He
crazy.
might be a lobbyist for a certain group.
Aubrey
that's why you have
Graham
to do it in America.
But I don't know that APAC has their hands on Canada yet.
Yeah, but they have their hands on Drake. Doesn't Drake own property in Houston?
Probably owns property a little bit everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when he had the OVO Fest running concurrent, and if you just think about, it's kind of like, you know, if you ever watched the documentary about Vince Carter and how he kind of helped start up the local nightlife scene here, Drake kind of did the same in the sense of the concerts and festivals. Bro, Rolling Loud wouldn't think about coming here if it wasn't for Drake.
You have a point.
There's a lot of artists that tour and add Toronto as a stop on there. They weren't doing that before. Remember, we're in a different country. They have to cross the border. A lot of those guys, they could just be like, yo, I'll just go to these 50 states and just get my bread. I just have to drive or fly. I don't have to cross borders. And I don't have to deal with a different currency, or they don't even have to think about certain things, right? But now, because of Drake, definitely, yeah, I gotta go to Toronto. I gotta go here.
But even with that, you really think Drake's paying his taxes? You really think he's paying his fucking taxes? Like all of that, like
Is any rich person paying
Yeah,
their
but
taxes?
like, their
Exactly.
taxes are like 20
Like-
bucks. That's the point. It's-
yeah, like that is horrendous. Horrendous.
I'm not
Taxes are
gonna
not
lie.
for
And
rich
isn't
people.
he a
Yeah.
billionaire?
Fam, the rich people own the tax. Like they pay
like-
themselves.
Exactly. Like there are no ethical billionaires.
Yeah.
They're none.
I'd be hard pressed to
Like-
find an ethical half a billionaire, honestly.
Like even with all that Drake is doing, he's still not contributing because he is like you see what I'm saying?
He is the issue. He
Yeah,
is the
you
problem.
see? You
I
see?
get that.
I do not co-sign this messaging.
Like
I don't know.
Nah, because
Let me
like, the
disclaimer
issue is-
right
the
quick.
issue
You don't
is-
co-sign this.
It's capitalism versus the masses. Like like how you said, it's a numbers game. It's like, okay, a few thousand billionaires versus like the population of 8 billion. Because like if we're being dead ass, we have advanced technology that can literally replicate human life. You're telling me we don't have a cure for cancer?
Yeah.
You're telling me we can't feed?
We don't have a
That's my point. That is exactly my point. That's my point. Like,
Because when's the last time you seen a billionaire die from cancer?
when is the last time a billionaire has died? When is the last time any person in like any government official building died? If they're not on like the opposing team, if they're
How
not on the
is Joe
losing team, they're not
Biden
dying.
still alive? That's a good point.
Bro, these guys are pushing like 70, 80 plus, cashing in pension, sitting on millions of dollars. And then when they retire, they're going to get the millions of dollars in pension, just chilling. And it's like, I don't know. We just got to like vote, I guess. I don't know what can we just vote.
Niggas just passed Bill 97 yesterday. Not a single word. Nobody talked about nothing until it was brought up, passed, and done with.
Yeah.
Feel me? And in like the whole contents of Bill 97, I think one of the more alarming things was like essentially two of the more alarming things was one was the way that Doug Ford gutted the Freedom of Information Act. Like, bro essentially just circumvented the whole judicial system and like the purpose of it, bro. Like, bro would have been required to release phone records and texts of like, he was talking about government shit on his own private whatever phone, this, that, and the other. He wasn't supposed to. But bigger than that is how a nigga could just be like, I don't really feel like it. Let's just change the laws. And he just got away with it.
Yeah, this was not passed through the man. No one on earth legislated this. We did not.
The council did not vote.
Who did this again?
Doug Ford.
Yeah, so I feel like they know what they're doing. I don't know.
They definitely know what they're doing. I feel like the issue is, again, like, it's all systems. We have 3 different governments to handle 3 different levels. We have the city, the provincial, and the federal. Mans always want to go straight for Carney. Something's wrong. When it's like, Doug Ford has been in power. He's been doing evil stuff. I can't say that. He's been doing questionable things since he's been in power, and we always put the blame on the next guy. And it's like we see his name in the news 24/7, buying shit with our tax dollars, and then complaining that we don't work hard enough. We're not doing enough for our community. It's our fault. And then we go to the polls, and he's elected every year. It's no change. Again,
Yeah, mind you, this
So,
is
did the madam vote though?
I voted. Personally, I voted.
The madam can't be doing all this talking and not
That's
voting.
what I'm saying. That's fam, we gotta get everyone to start voting. Because I feel like, personally, mans don't care.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
Like, mans don't care. Because if we think about it, if we all tell one of our friends, Doug Ford's bad, don't vote for him next time. That's +2
Nah,
votes.
the madam are not voting. That's the issue.
Yes.
I voted.
Yeah, I feel like in one sense, yeah, we need to care. We need to care more, but I feel in another sense, it's like, we feel like our voices don't matter, you know? And so it's like, yo, what's the point in me voting when every fucking time I care, they do some fuck shit, you know? And I feel like people have gotten into this mentality where it's like, they're giving up. And we need to get out of that, you know, as much as we need to, yeah, I feel like that makes sense.
You need to get out and vote, bro.
Yeah.
But now, if I said, when's the next election?
So yo, the gal them, I'm not gonna lie, I'm putting pressure on the gal them. The gal them need to make the madam vote still, cause the madam listen to the gal them. The last time I voted is cause Shorty told me, yo, like she made me feel away, like you're not gonna go vote.
Damn.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna go vote still. So I don't know. I feel like one, I know I just said go vote, but like, yo, I don't get into politics because exactly what you guys just said. You guys can do everything right, and one man will just be like, nah, we're doing this. And it happens. So it's like, I don't have that type of time to waste. Like, they say there's a structure. There's a democracy, but it's not really a democracy.
Oh, there's never a
But
democracy.
like, sorry,
No, I'm
Do your
done.
thing, do your thing.
I understand what you're saying. Like, it's hard to find the time, but like, yo, it's 2026. Mans have TikTok. I swear, like, to find out what mans are doing when it comes to like the political parties, I feel like it's a lot easier. Cause like, bro, even if they're old, they're still trying to get it with the times. So they're still posting all their latest news on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I did search it up. There is another election for Toronto in October. So hopefully
October's coming
Shorty
up.
tells you to vote in this October.
You're a politics guy, aren't you?
I don't know.
Or a conspiracy guy.
I guess a
You
little
seem
bit
like
of
you
both.
just get high and you just go on YouTube and look up conspiracy. And you're just like, yeah, this is Gordon.
That's actually crazy. Sometimes, yo, it gets boring, bro. What?
I have a friend like you, fam. Don't worry. This is why I could see it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I think, okay, I didn't say this earlier when I mentioned the epiphany. One specific way I wanted to phrase like my whole POC kind of like rant was, I was saying this to Raheem and Kielo the other day, like those guys, they don't play the same game as us. When I say they don't play the same game as us, I mean like in terms of people of color that aren't black or that aren't as close to black as can be, their whole game is proximity to whiteness. How close to white can I be? How much white passing can I get away with? Whereas in terms of us, we will never be in that game. It's impossible for us to try and get white proximity.
But man still do it though.
So
that's the crazy part about
true.
it.
Coons exist. Coons exist. Absolutely.
Ruckuses exist.
They exist.
So I can't respect those guys.
So when we see like, and then we'll get mad and like, yo, you don't see the white people did your people like this too? We don't understand. They think the closer you are to white, the safer you are. Whereas for us, we were never allowed to like engage in that game, so we wouldn't understand it. It's like they're speaking a whole next language in terms of like white passing. We're completely barred from that from birth. We're black. So it's impossible for us to ever be like, yeah, no, I'm not black, I'm Dominican. You know, that kind of vibe.
And it's shit like that alone. Like, it just... Respect is one thing. Everyone deserves respect at the end of the day. So it's like, how can you go about your whole life consuming our culture, knowing what, per se, your ancestors, or not even your ancestors, just white people in general, or what people did back in the day? How can you, like, sit there, see certain shit, think it's acceptable, or hear certain shit, like, even say, like, the N-word, like, again, everyone grows up in different communities. Everyone thinks it's acceptable to certain people. But then the minute, like, someone says it in a certain scenario, oh, wait, you're not going to do something? You're not going to do something? You're not going to do something? Like, why do I have to why do I have to act out? Why do I have to stand up for myself? It gets to a point, because it's like, bro, in a majority standpoint, if it's 1v50, why is it like that when we can all see what is what is morally wrong? Like, at the end of the day, as don't have respect and morals.
That's your issue. In terms of like, you're in the majority, so you're talking morality. It's whatever the majority decides is moral. Yeah, there is no objective morality with those people.
But that's the thing. It's like, when there's no more objective morality, you're forced to act out. You're forced to demand it. And then when you're forced to demand it, that's when you're labeled bad. That's when you get, oh, he's violent. Oh, he's this, he's that. So it's kind of like a lose-lose.
Let me paint you a picture. What you just told me kind of reflects the actual definition of history. History is always written by the winners, fam. So if you have one person that lost to 50 people, they get to rewrite that story. They get to tell you whatever the hell they want. And if you want to touch on One Piece now, what Doflamingo said, and I have Marine for it, he said whoever wins becomes the very definition of justice. So it's just, damn, history is written on the winner. And in your perspective now, or at least in your scenario, it's like, your desire for the truth kind of combats or goes against the ideals of history. It's kind of clashing of heads, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's kind of like a clashing of heads.
I kind of wanted to chime in, like, what I think Raheem was describing is how we get the stereotype of the angry black man or the loud black woman. When you're treated the way that you are, that's the only way you can demand, like he said, objective morality from these masses. So other than acting out and being loud and being violent, that's all you can, or if that's the only way you can be seen, then that is all you're seen as. I think that's how I should word that. Like, if that's the only way you can get them to look at you, and that's the only time they look at you, that's all they'll remember from you. You know? And yeah, that's how we really get to these stereotypes and things like that. I think what we have to do in terms of like dismantling them is finding ways around it. You know, how do we as black people and black communities get our voices heard without putting our bodies on the line? You know, without putting our lives, our families, our job, and things like that on the line. Where does freedom but also safety intersect, if at all? You know?
I don't know. I feel like the internet is a gift and a curse, you know? It depends on how you use it, but let's be real. The internet is used for more negative than it is used for positive. So I feel like, you know, the answer to what you're saying is, yo, we really have to not care. Especially, like, the work that our ancestors, all the black people put in before us. We're really at a point now where we can live in a space and that doesn't affect us. We can build our life to be that way. Obviously, nothing's perfect. You probably will run into things no matter how hard you try to separate yourself. But, like, yo, that's why I like places like Atlanta. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever been there before. I've been there once. And you can't find a white person if you tried. Everywhere you turn, there's black people. I went into the bank and friggin' the bank manager was talking to me like she was on the intro of a Lil Jon song. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, you run the bank? Like, you know what I mean? And I just feel like it's refreshing. Like, you know, when I go, my family's Jamaican. When I go to Jamaica and I just see black people everywhere, it's refreshing. And I know that you deal with racism, as we talked about earlier, like within your own race, and there's different forms of it, or prejudice, however you want to word it. But I just think the answer is you gotta not care, because most of the stuff that like cause you to be the loud black woman or the angry black man, they're avoidable situations that it's kind of like you're just trying to correct this one person, but if you don't, what's gonna happen? Like, your life's still gonna go on, and you're not teaching, that person is still gonna probably be who they are. You're not teaching them anything. So, and yeah, I'm just gonna say the same thing over again, but we just have to just not care, honestly.
I feel like reflecting on like what you said with Atlanta and just like, you know, like seeing so many black people, I feel like spaces like that where you're able to see like different versions of black success without conforming to white or colonial standards, you know? Mm-hmm. And I feel like going back to like with proximity to whiteness and all of that, and with other races, we will never have that proximity to whiteness regardless of how much we conform. And with these other communities, like, because like going back to stereotypes again, like there are negative stereotypes. We have all of these negative stereotypes. There's like the Jezebel, the tragic mulatto, the angry black woman, angry black man, like all of these different stereotypes associated with us, but you never see a positive one. Whereas I hate like engaging in this rhetoric, but if you look at like, for example, Asian or Chinese, whatever, and it's like, oh, like the stereotype of being very smart or being very good at math, these different stereotypes that I guess insinuate success, whereas with us it's all of these like terrible, just degrading things, and then it's like you are only ever going to be seen as that. And then I forget what my point was. Oh yes, Atlanta, like the concept of being able to exist freely as a black individual without having to, oh, let me change how I talk, or like code switching, or all, like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I just feel like, yeah, we need to be able, like, we need those spaces where we can exist freely, see those different versions of black success. We need to be, like, it should be our fundamental right to be able to exist without conforming to proximity to whiteness. And then with these other communities, a lot of it's, I'm just going to stop there because I'm trailing off, but yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on a couple things, but let me kind of touch on what you were just saying. So what I'm kind of grabbing from this is like, we need to see actual black success in front of our eyes. Like, we need to see like a black fire chief or a black paramedic chief. Quick? Yeah, do your thing, brother.
When we say, like, all of you guys just said, what you seems like you guys described to me was black success outside of a white framework. It's as simple as that. you know, black people can be successful, and that's not something that's impossible in today's world. But black success outside of a white framework looks drastically different, like you just described. You know, it's comforting, it's community, it's welcoming, it's warm. It's so many different things, and the success is structured so drastically different than what would be deemed as success in a white culture. And that's why it feels so good to be around it, because it's not cold. It's not hard. It's not, I'm going to wake up at 7 a.m. every day, working 9 to 5. I'm going to make bands. You know, it's not that type of dream. It's a different type of success. The success is in the community.
Yeah, like to love is to be successful, you know? And it's that warmth and that just appreciation that I'm here for you, I embrace you, you know? Whereas in like white communities, it's very judgmental, it's very harsh, it's like
full of malice.
Yeah.
I will say,
like,
ever since I moved to Pierre, bro, it just felt cold. It was just colder. The air was colder over there.
Yeah, like like I low key, I don't want, like, I'm sorry, I know I got a white family, but like growing up with that, you definitely see the difference between communities, and it's just cold. Yeah, like holy fuck, it's just like judgment, it's this, that, where, and it's like you make a mistake, that's just like it's held against you, it's this, it's that. And then in the black community, it's like it's so much more uplifting when we, like, you know. And then again, like connecting, because sorry,
Would you kind of say, like, when you get both perspectives, like, is it an eye-opening experience? Like, what were you really like exposed to, if you're comfortable? Like, how was the difference really? How was it present?
Both sides of the family.
Yeah.
Black and white.
Like, I'll be honest, like with growing up, I was much more close with like the white side of my family to a certain extent, or like extended family. It was like you could tell, like there was love, there was appreciation, but it was conditional. It was very much, it felt conditional. It felt like their love only existed when they could see my whiteness, in a sense. And like there were a lot of like microaggressions or different, like, you know, like that type of thing. And then in like with like my grandma or my black community, like black family, like we used to have like family reunions, and you're there and it's like everybody's just so happy to see each other. Everybody's just like, you know, like of course it's warm, yeah. And it's like, of course, like, you know, like everybody like has their issues. Like there's always, my grandma, she's argumentative, you know, she can cause a problem, but even with it, it's a different feeling, you know. It's not that same cold, like,
It's like the opposite. Like,
yeah,
pretty much. Like, let's say you have a argument with your nana and an argument with your mom. There's like two different type of arguments, because you can argue with your nana and still love her. Even if you had a black mother, you'd still love her at the end of the day. I'd say maybe with a white mother, you'd probably hate her guts after. Like, I won't lie. So I could definitely see what you're trying to say.
I feel like it matters which parent is white. I don't know. Both my parents are black. You probably
Really?
better,
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, no, I feel like it matters though. I feel like if the dad is white, and it also matters like the personality and temperament of the parents. There's some parents that are more demanding about the child and what happens, and there's some parents that kind of just go with the flow. But I definitely feel like it matters which parent, because I feel like if it's usually most cases the child gravitates to the mother's side, like 7 out of 10 times.
Right.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So if the mom is white, then the kid's probably gonna be hanging out with his white side of the family more than the other side.
I feel like that also like ties into just like the patriarchy and its structures. I find, because there's like, oh, the child goes to the mother, and it's like, yes, like there is that like maternal bond, but it also a lot of the time stems from our like the colonial concept of fatherhood.
I was about to say, like, does the maternal bond or the emphasis on the maternal bond exist because of the lack of a paternal one? Is that why we default?
Like,
yeah, continue. Sorry to interrupt.
Sorry, I was just like, like it negates I feel like the maternal bond, like it negates the importance of the paternal,
And I know on one of our TikTok videos, somebody commented that, like, as far as the youth in our community, the reason that they're in such a place with drugs, crime, violence, and stuff like that, they don't have two parents in the household. And while I believe that two parents in the household are always beneficial, especially like financially, emotionally, in terms of support, I think it's not impossible. I've seen many single mothers in our communities do amazing jobs.
The impossible.
Beyond, right?
Literally.
They've raised amazing people. And on the flip side, I've also seen two-parent households fail
miserably
to produce somebody who could thrive in society. That's the best way I could put that. And back to what he was saying, it's like it does come down to the parents. It comes down to how you equip your youth, your children to take on the world and stuff like that. Yeah.
Parenting should be kind of like getting a license. You should have to do this, that, and it should be approved.
especially with like interracial children, like having a license, like when you're having an interracial child, like respect, like they are still, like for me, like yes, I have a white mother, but I'm still black. That's the that is what I identify as. That's like how I'm perceived most of the time. So it's like, as a white mother or father, you need to take that, get those steps, that education about what that means, about the concept of blackness, about just
Basically teaching you both sides.
exactly, yeah. Like you have to be able to recognize your place in how, I guess, anti-blackness is further perpetuated.
And I was saying this the other day. I was talking to this one lady. She was an old lady. She had like a bunch of carrots on her bike, and we were talking about how coming to Canada, right, and you're born here, but your parents aren't from here. Where do you identify as? It's like, yeah, I'm Canadian, but if you go ask another Canadian, I'm not Canadian.
It depends who you're talking to.
That's also a thing as
if
well.
you're talking to someone who's not Canadian, you're going to say, I'm from Canada. But if you're talking to someone, like if I'm meeting you, I'm going to be like, I'm Jamaican.
Exactly.
You're going to be like, you're whatever.
Yeah, that's
Right?
exactly.
Eventually, though, kind of what I was talking about earlier about us being first generations, that's why that happens. Once, we're down the line a little bit, like our kids, my dad's dad was Canadian, so they're all just going to view themselves as Canadians. Or I'm curious if they're still going to say what we say, like, depending who they talking to, like I'm Jamaican Canadian or Ghanaian Canadian or whatever. I'm curious to see how that would go.
We're in an interesting place, like, because I'm kind of just realizing you are right in terms of the young country, but what would the Canadian identity be?
I think we gotta like recognize that the Canadian identity is the native indigenous people that were here
Absolutely.
before us, obviously. But like, again, identifying as Canadian, anyone born here can say they're Canadian. But like, again, it's multicultural. Like, what do we think of when we say, "Oh, I'm Canadian"?
But I feel like at one point Americans were saying the same shit.
Exactly.
And now it's not like that. Now
But
they just view themselves as
the American
Americans.
identity
that's
is
the
a
thing,
Christian death cult.
The American identity is just like, oh, what state I'm from and how like.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like eventually it will get like that. Like, if you just, I don't know how, if you've been anywhere else in Canada, but Canada is like so underdeveloped.
Fam, it's literally.
It's
fam,
crazy.
It's just
It's all land.
all land and then little Torontos everywhere. so
like
dumb.
the GTA is the only place in Canada that is like this.
Yes.
Is it underdeveloped or is it just not capitalized? You know.
It's not capitalized because
Well, they didn't develop it right though.
Yes, all we did was group up in this big city, and then let's leave everyone else. Let's let the indigenous have their land back, but let's not actually like help them with anything. Let's just give them the land, do nothing with it, and then just make bank.
Yeah.
And to do nothing with it is a stretch because, again, the government is actively poisoning indigenous water. They are actively building
even get
construction
started.
properties to
Actively.
indigenous land.
Yep.
They're actively fucking up indigenous
But why?
lives.
There's, I don't know. They could drive
But why?
40
What?
No, but they could drive 40 minutes up the road and there's beer land. Like, they'll talk, every time I'm driving, like, especially, like, I went to high school in Brampton and stuff like that. And when I first moved up there, I remember being mad at my mom because, like, I remember seeing farms and being like, yo, why did we come here? And now that same spot where I'm seeing a farm, there's a Shell gas station. So this is what I'm trying to say. They didn't develop it right. Like they should have, instead of letting everybody freaking move to Toronto, like send some people to Manitoba. Send some man to Saskatchewan. Like spread the dogs them out. Like all the dogs them are just living on top of each other in one place. Nobody can find work. Now mans are stabbing each other. Like
And that's the issue. It's like they're overpopulating these communities and then wondering why they have these absurd crime rates. It's pointless.
Lack of opportunities has always increased crime rate. Like
It's like
it's not new information.
it's actually like it was brought up today. Like it's probably easier to like get a free car than actually get a job. Cause like, fam, it's
Yo,
get a car.
Free car, like
yeah,
a stolen.
like steal a car.
Yeah.
It's definitely
I just
like
even not even a free car. I think it's just easier to get a car. They'll be like, "Yo, no money down. You don't even need to make a lot of money a month." I've seen them sign people up on like 50 and 60% interest. They just want you to buy the car.
They
But you
want to
have to
sell
be,
you
like,
into
over
debt. It's the
25.
new slavery.
Exactly.
60% interest.
And there was
Yeah,
something
I'm
I
not
wanted
gonna
to say
lie.
earlier
For like
when you
3 or
guys
4
said
years.
like a climate of death. Us as people, we have to realize that we are born living, especially first world, like living in Canada, North America, we are born living above our needs.
Absolutely.
yes.
We are born like that. So yes, most of the debt we have is about shit that we don't need.
Absolutely.
So let's keep that in check.
Yeah, we are like the only country who has to go into more debt just to pay a debt and still be in debt for that debt. It doesn't.
that we created.
Yeah, like it's genuinely insane, and it's like fuck, like
So just run up your credit card. It doesn't matter. Like
and
Just run up your credit card.
maxing out your
doesn't
credit
matter.
cards is like it's fucking you even more. It's putting you in more debt at the end of the day. So it's like I actually don't even know. It's insane. Like the tariffs. Don't even get me started on the tariffs. So for people who don't know how tariffs kind of work, let's say you get a $5 shirt from like Costco, thrift store, wherever, and then the next week you go, it's like $7. You add $2 because let's say you're getting it shipped from like Mexico or somewhere else, and then now they're moving it towards making it in Canada. So the shirt's now made in your local factory for the sake of like more jobs. But you know, where are those jobs going to? You know, if this has been something that's been going on for like a couple years now, over a decade, I feel like it's just a ploy. I feel like genuinely it's just a ploy, bro.
was tariffs always a word? Because I feel like I just heard about that one day when the man started talking
No,
about it.
it's a thing. They've never
Like,
really.
where did this
given
come
it-
from?
it-
Were they always doing this?
Yeah.
Donald Trump started it, and then I wouldn't say he started it. I guess tariffs were always a thing in terms of like to balance out the economy, export and import, because sometimes they're in debt and they got to pay for that shit, and they use tariffs sometimes. But like Donald Trump OD'd it. He just said, "Fuck it, tariff on everybody."
Yeah.
You know, and I guess that was just never been done before, and then now everybody's like, "Oh, tariff this, tariff that."
It's just increased tax.
So
It's
do we as Canada, we have tariffs on
Yeah.
other countries?
So basically, this is how it works. It's increased tax. You have to pay more, but you're not getting a job. It's to push jobs, for people in the
So-
in the city. Uh-huh.
I don't want to cut you off, but
Yeah.
tariffs only affect traded goods.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say Canada has the richest iron deposit in North America. So 70% of all of our iron comes from Canada. Let's say China needs iron to make microchips for the AI drones. If we don't have a good relationship with China, we can charge them 15% tariff. So anything we send over to China, they have to pay more for to get it across the border. That's basically how tariff works.
And then to circle it back,
how Donald Trump went about it. You guys know about the NAFTA agreement where Canada, Mexico, and U.S. we all traded goods to each other, so we help each other out because we were fucking neighbors. Basically, he was like, "No, I don't like this agreement no more. We're gonna rearrange it." And I forgot what he did exactly, but he ruined the agreement by adding the tariffs on all imported goods. So basically, anything America would get, anything America imported from China, Mexico, Canada, all of it was now taxed more. And of course, if I'm a wholesaler, if I'm bringing in fucking crates of Nikes, I'm not paying for that shit. You are, okay? So the Jordans that are normally $300 for no reason, $350 just because.
$4 bills.
$4 bills if I'm feeling
Black
lucky.
Cats.
And that's another thing. It's like it runs up all these markets because now we have a bunch of product that no one's buying because it's overpriced. Cars again, like it's more on like raw minerals and like computer components and shit like that. Like,
can I just chime in also? This is how you kind of get like this economic space where people are spending more, but the economy is actively shrinking because of these tariffs.
Yeah.
We're forced to spend more, but our economy isn't growing, and neither is our spending power because employment is also shrinking.
Because it's like when they say we need more skilled tradesmen or women, it's not that we need more young people. Is that we just need more people working. We need more jobs open. We need more buildings built. But instead of building, like, for example, ethical community housing, where we just build the neighborhood and, you know, put peoples of all life there, not just certain demographics, and help everyone live a good life, we're focused on just building 50-story condos in the heart of downtown.
Yo, they fucking, so there was like this community housing right near where I live, right? They fucking tore that shit down and put a park up. They tore that shit down.
Let me tell you about connections.
I'm so proud.
Let me tell you about
and they
connections.
put that shit up so fast.
They tore down
so
connections.
fast.
They didn't even put a park up. It's just a field of grass right now.
Yo.
There's nothing.
Yo.
It's not brother.
No. They tore that shit down. I think before I went to high school. Or might have been grade 9.
Like grade 9 going into grade 10.
Yeah, and I am a second year in college now. It's still a field of fucking grass.
Oh my.
I'm a college graduate.
You know what happens?
What?
You know what I learned?
Fuck.
You know what I learned happens? Shit like that. So, like, I'm not going to say it happened for the Connections project, but, like, when you see empty lots of land like that for years upon end, it's really the buyer, whoever bought that land and wanted to build something, they just went out of debt. They just went into debt, so they can't do anything on their land. So, like, I was on a job site once, and literally, like, across the street was another just plot of land. And he was like, "Oh yeah, we used to work over there," but the guy running the job, he ran out of money, so they just fucking left it. So it's literally just a fucking, it's just a hole in the ground, basically. Sometimes they dump material. I don't think I can say that, but anyways,
You self-censoring.
it's corporate greed, because at the end of the day, construction guys, they're all getting paid big bucks. They don't care how long it takes. They'll get their money.
They want it to take longer. What the hell?
Sometimes it's like that. And then they complain that they work so much, but they don't want to stop working. It's crazy.
Crazy.
That's hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Oh man.
Us as humans are complex people. And I was thinking about saying it earlier, but we need to, us black people now, we need to be more like the other races that we see. And the two that I always think about are Indians and Jewish people. Okay?
Shut up, Masad.
No, I like where you're going with this.
Alright, break it down. I'm actually locked in. Break it down.
So listen, like, you know,
Sorry.
for my job, I have to drive around and do like maintenance in different places in Toronto. So for once a week, I go to Bathurst and Lawrence. Is it back in St. Lawrence?
Are you talking
Yeah.
about
Bless you,
where
bless
the
you.
metro is?
Yeah. All right.
That's where the Jews are.
That whole
Jew Central.
area is a Jewish area, right? And honestly, when I see these people in their everyday lives, they don't look like they have no problems, because they live in a community with people like themselves. They don't have to deal with no racism or like that. Like that whole little radius is just Jewish people,
Fam,
right? Indian
That's
people.
where it was working, you know. That's where
Indian people now, right? Like, and I went to high school in Brampton, as I said. So the version of Indian people I saw when I lived in Toronto versus when I feel like in Toronto it's more like Sri Lankan, Tamil. There's like Indians, but they're different. The ones in Brampton, I feel like they're fresh from India. Like they go from India straight to Brampton. And my neighbors, for example, I don't even know how many people lived in that house at one point, but they had a lot of cars and a lot of people. And after like 8 years, I think there was like 4 different families in the one house. They all bought a house side by side by side by side on the same street. And bro, if we couple those two things together, that whole world that I was talking about, where everybody, we just live in one area, and the people that don't like what
That's
we're
a
on
beautiful
go over
world,
there,
you know.
we can literally create that for ourselves. We just need to pick a spot. I want to pick somewhere hot. But, yeah.
it's kind of just like
I want to pick somewhere.
it's a big game of Monopoly, like when you think of it, cause like all immigrants, no matter what race, cause even the Europeans back in the early 60s, 70s, 80s, before they started, running the mobs and shit, they came over as
That just reminded me of something. Continue on.
tradesmen and women. They just worked regular jobs, and they basically did everything they complain about immigrants do today, just in the 70s and 80s. And it's weird.
It's immigrants complaining about immigrants.
Yes, that's what it is. Because it's like, and then it's passed on. It's generationally passed on to just hate on people because they look different.
One thing I wanted to, this is unrelated, but I just remember because you said mobs and Italians. Gang violence is not gang violence across all races, bro. The Italian mafia is the same as the niggas on the block. They're the same people. When they do hits in the movies, it's beautiful. They have orchestra playing in the background. They got a cinema. They got the whole shit. When we do hits in the movies, they drive by. He's
Man,
dead.
sloppy.
The saxophones.
Like what? You're telling me like it really is that deep though, because they're telling me it's the exact same crime, but they get to be beautiful in doing it.
But I hear you, bro. But there's always niggas out here that are making a bad case for what you're saying, that are like, nah, we're not even trying to do it the right way. I know I know you guys seen I know you guys seen Pooh Shiesty, and
Yes.
I haven't even looked into the situation properly because
Bro, he just tried to rob
the
his
bullet
boss.
points are crazy. The bullet points are crazy. He jumped in a whip with his brethren and his dad and drove hours to go try to get out of a contract, and then ended up doing some next shit.
Yo, I couldn't even drive hours for some food, bro. Literally 30 minutes in,
And
let's find a
if
nearest
you think
spot.
about it now, though, hold on. If you think about it now, though, there's so much technology. I wouldn't even want to be a criminal right now.
Them.
I'd be I never did certain things in my life because my anxiety was strong. But now, like, bro, you have cars, have cameras on everything. Mans are doing drive-bys in Teslas. Are you kidding me, bro?
Getting slow on in the Tesla, they got their kill cam on the side.
Are you kidding? All a man has to do in the local headquarters is type in one code, and he has a camera of you doing the drive-by. He has a camera of your car driving by, taking. He has everything.
Every angle. Because you know the Tesla has every angle,
And
fam.
all he did is just do a 1-2 on the keyboard.
Yeah, I know it. Like,
Back in the day, at least the man them had to go talk to 1-2 people. Yo, let me see your cameras. They had to actually catch you.
is that why police don't have to be educated anymore?
Bro, police go on Instagram.
They
and
don't
be like,
need education because
No,
they
they
can just do
go on
that.
Instagram and they're like, yup, they just see beer crimes and they just build up the local resume, and then they'll be like, yo, today, not going today, let's go for him
In the
today.
next beef. They follow 6 months.
The Jakes definitely follow 6 months. You have to follow 6 months. It's
They have
like,
Twitter, dog. They definitely.
No, but like another thing with your technology and committing crimes, technology is also so bad. I would not want to be a soldier. Also, like when we get into like the political, sorry to like just take it back there, but like they're blowing niggas' heads off with drones in Ukraine, bro.
Yeah, and these guys, it's not even like they're like ethically blowing people up. These guys are actually just like hands up, surrendering,
mind you,
raising white flags.
It's just some random nigga sitting in his desk, controller just.
You guys seen Ender's Game?
Which game?
Ender's Game.
Nah,
It's
what
a
is that?
movie. I think it's based off a book too. But this is what you guys are describing. The world one day is just gonna be video game fighting.
That
Man,
is,
we're
it's
just gonna be
like it essentially is because they've like when I seen the clip of a nigga getting his head blown, like it was like in Iran or something, right? Bro was in the car. It wasn't just that they blew his head off with the drone. They sent this nigga, the IDF sent this nigga a text. They said, "Yo, we got a drone en route to your low. Get out the whip if you do not want your family to die with you." Wow. This nigga hopped out the car, ran to a field. Oh, you hear boom, head gone.
Damn.
Just like that. So not only were they able to send a Predator missile essentially to this nigga, they got his phone. They texted him 3 seconds before. They're like, "Yo, fam, on the way right now."
By the way,
Like it's a DoorDash for you or something. Like that's how like dystopian and scary this shit is getting, bro. Just like that.
Am I allowed to ask like you guys a question?
Of course.
Little group. All right. So this is my hypothetical. Don't try to remix it. all right?
Okay.
There's a war going on right now.
Yeah.
The government is saying, "Yo, we're sending people. If you're able-bodied, we're sending people. So if you don't go, it's bin time." So what are you guys saying?
Yo, me and my homie were talking about this today. Cause realistically, I'm saying I'm going into the bin. I'm not fighting for a country I don't want to fight for.
Yeah.
Especially when it's for unethical reasons. Cause
So does it change if you believe in the cause of the fight?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on. Answer. Don't go too long-winded because I have a part B that might
Okay,
change what you're
nice.
gonna say.
Okay.
So you said you're not going. You're going to the bin.
Yeah.
I'd rather kill myself. I'm
okay.
not.
Hold
no,
on.
I would go to the
Remember my
bin.
hypothetical. You have
Sorry,
go to jail,
I would go
twin.
to the bin. I would go to the bin. That was over
You
dramatic.
can off yourself in the bin if that's
Yeah,
what you
yeah,
want.
like,
All right.
but nah.
Honestly, like nigga like me, I would go take a gun and frag my. I'm one of those guys, bro. I'm shooting my officer.
Yo,
See who's going
on the
down,
record,
nigga.
on the record, this guy has terrible
fraud.
vision.
You're a
He's
brain
not
fart.
packing no one.
Man, if I'm either gonna go to the bin or I'm gonna die for some white man, how about I just kill a white man and then go to the bin? How about
yeah.
that?
That's the thing. It's like
All right, hold on.
Fam, I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to the bin too. Keeping it real brief.
So
can't
I
do
was
that.
gonna say,
Yo.
like, what if the fight is here now? But you're already locked in, so we know what your answer is.
That is insanely
if the fight is here and I have to defend my
Like, they're not sending you across the water. The man them are in Canada shooting up things.
Okay,
That's
well,
a valid
story, yeah.
question. I fuck with that.
And the government now they're giving out straps. Like,
Now it
yo,
changes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
actually no, it doesn't because I just booked. They're
It's
not
the same
coming after
fight. It's the same fight. It's just happening
But
here.
yeah, but I'm
Hold
still
on,
in
but
the
what about
bin.
your
They're not
family
coming
though?
after-
Your family.
A lie. Now you actually
I'll
have
fight for my
something to
family.
lose.
I'm not gonna lie.
You got
I
a
have
lot
shit
to
lose
defend now.
I won't lie. It's different from recruiting and now a
Ethical,
random.
is it an ethical war? They just like
When is
We're
it not
attacking
ethical to defend yourself?
okay, but like
It's
why am
always
I?
ethical to defend your family.
What
What?
do? Okay, my point is, what does a regular person do when there's a war in their town? Do they not evacuate?
Nobody knows because
We don't know. We in the first world, we'll never
Listen,
know.
I watch war movies all the time, so
Okay,
I'm constantly
okay,
thinking about
listen,
what I would do if there was a war.
listen.
Yeah.
If there's a war in, let's say, yo, fucking 6 months dropped, yo, Iran, I can't. 6 months drops, so and so, Canada's being raided. They're coming in from Lake Ontario. Yeah, I'm going to the police station and I'm grabbing a bitch. Sure. Like,
Honestly,
other than that-
you stop thinking about the hypothetical because they're recruiting you now for the same cause. So they're just coming to kill us now.
A lot. Does your
Listen,
morality
the
change if your
location
life
just
is on the
changed.
line?
Yeah.
Listen,
Yo,
I
nah.
don't want to fight for the white man if I know he's just a white racist Nazi.
So what were you saying?
Yo, but the thing is,
Guy's
because
on
it's
one.
different territory, right? We're on home territory. So now they're giving me a strap, right? They expect me to do one thing with it. I don't have to necessarily do that one thing with it. I don't have to, I can just like infiltrate, you know? And then bam, I don't want to like get arrested for like threats of killing a government official, but like, you know, they could, you know, just a little go to sleep and then we take over and then we just
I have
like,
a question. And I know this is your hypothetical. In this hypothetical, do the Native American or Native Canadians, are they being recruited to, and do they get blicks? Because if that was the case, I'm siding with them still. I'm not going to lie. I'm siding with the natives.
but are they being recruited under like Canadian government or like their own like war party?
Ooh, cause like the government don't want nothing to do with them still. I don't
You're
know.
right. You're
But
right.
we're acting
I was
like the
gonna say,
government
I feel like
the
they're
government-
probably
war.
gathering them up and they're like,
Like,
yo,
yeah.
you guys go first.
Yeah.
They might actually do that. That's like in canon, bro. That's
That's
war.
some, you know, idiot thing they'd be on, like, you know,
Yeah.
do that shit.
on a sacrifice thing. Me, I'm not going to war. I'll just go to the bin. If they come here, I'll grab a strap, but I'm not going too far. Like, I'm not going to Nova Scotia. The fight, like,
Yeah.
the fight has to fight.
They can
Like,
fight me at Lake Ontario.
it has to be a 30-minute drive or less, or I'm not going.
Nobody's marching those miles that they were doing in the movies, marching for 6 hours on end, full gear.
So is Drake gonna be the theme music or like who's gonna be on Ox?
Who's gonna be an Oscar in the war? Yo, Cho, I want a body cam.
Yo,
too.
you're not making it long in the war. You're thinking about this guy's like, man, he's shooting. He's like, hold on, yo, I'm putting on
Yo,
my
fam, next
YouTube.
song,
Yo,
next
we gotta
I'm
like, we
getting
gotta
the
listen
right
to the
song.
market real quick. Gotta, you know, get in the mood.
You're not waiting to dance with a girl, bro.
Damn. What's the worst song you could go out to?
That's what you're thinking about.
Damn, nah, you gotta be prepared, bro.
So like,
So what?
anything Chief
Training
Keef,
is training is one thing. Like
You're moving.
So
like you know
wait,
what's
let me
gonna
ask you
happen to
this. You have your earbuds in, and what if you die to a Spotify ad?
Yo,
Whoa,
A Spotify advertisement. You don't have premium
Nah,
in the
my
war.
gosh.
nah, the man
Yo.
need to be paying the membership. Bro.
In the war zone?
Man, are in the groove
think-
hearing
you
their
think
tunes
Canada's-
and they
you
hear
think
ads.
Canada's
I
giving
feel
us
like
premium?
Spotify Premium should be a perk of like
Yeah,
dying in your
that's mandatory.
country, you know?
That's a
So that has
Yo,
to come
you
with the
guys are
service.
not making it, fam. You guys are thinking about. I'm telling you right now. I watch war movies. You guys
Yo.
are not thinking about the right thing.
listen, bro.
Fam, as long as my fit is hard, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I need like, you know the army pants, how they come with the boot cut thing? I need mine to be flared. I can't have no ankle cuffs on
You
my
gotta
army
have
pants.
modern wear in the fucking.
Yes.
This is why they bad up the Gen Z, fam. I'm not gonna lie. This is why they bad up the Gen Z. The man want
Listen,
flared
if you're gonna
military.
have me,
Damn, you telling me that's not hard?
It's hard, but
That's
yo,
hard,
when
oh.
shots are rizzling, you're not gonna be worried about your flared military pants.
That's true. I'm gonna be worried about my like military Balenciagas. That's a lot of running. That's what I'm gonna be
you're
worried
not
about.
running in the military Balenci's.
I might do a little strut. You know, I might give it a
Ric
little.
Flair. What it is? Get your theme music playing, and you just start like.
I might do a one too.
What's the walkout music? You gotta have it ready.
The walkout music for World War III.
You think there's gonna be like squads? We're gonna have like the same playlist or what?
Oh, man's gonna do like what's it called? Shirt play.
Might have to. So.
Yo, I don't even know shit
You guys
tracks.
think
I'm
your
like,
Yo,
Beats
fam,
by-
they're
You
on
think when
me.
they made the Beats by Dre, they were thinking about bombs and explosions and
Yes.
gunshots?
They have to have
What?
a Bluetooth connection in the tank, bro. You're telling me
Yo,
the tank
fam,
doesn't have a
fam,
Bluetooth?
you're telling me tanks don't have aux?
They gotta have an aux.
They have $100,000 cameras and they don't got Bluetooth.
I'm sure, fam, when they were putting in the budget, they're like, add an extra band
Listen,
to make
bro.
sure there's an aux in the. I'm sure they put that in there.
Because the way they propagate, the way that the propaganda is propagandizing, I would expect at least like a good mixtape going on in like boot camp. You know, if there's no music at boot camp, okay, I'm like, okay, this is what I signed up for. I don't want to do this anymore.
If the vibes aren't going in that boot camp, I gotta go.
I'm not listening
So-
to music in the war because it's gonna be distracting. A man's gonna say something about gal, and I'm gonna start
Oh, that's
thinking.
hard.
I'm gonna start thinking about things that can't save my life right now. Need to
What
save-
could
I-
save your life in a war though? For real, like when you really,
Some mans, their gal was saving their life. You know, before every battle, they're pulling out the little photo. looking at it like, yeah, I'm coming back, just not.
Like your son.
Men don't do that no more.
Holy.
I
You
do
say
that.
Oh, you do that?
do
Nah, I
that.
believe that.
You seem like you're opening car doors and, you know,
I am opening car doors.
you're walking on the side closest to the
I'm buying
car.
flowers. I'm doing
But
a lot.
is it genuine or performative?
You have a girlfriend?
I got a girlfriend.
I don't know if that's too personal, my bad.
Yeah, I got a
So
girlfriend.
then this is why you're talking like that. It's
Like what?
easy.
She
It's
trains
easy
you
when it's just
right.
one
She trains
person.
you.
It's easy, but you're not opening up the door to them for all the gal them.
Well,
just for
no,
your
if I
girl.
open up the door for all the gal, then my arm's gonna get tired.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's easy now because you have one girl. You only have
Mm-hmm.
one person to think about.
Yeah.
I could argue even with no girl, like, shit, like, I'd
But yo,
still fight for a girl.
but did you do that when you were like before you guys were dating and you were working to get there? Were you
Like when you were courting.
were you
type.
sure?
I think
you had that-
I was doing more when I was trying to get that. I think. like, I
Okay,
was
so
doing a lot more.
basically,
So you
you're
calmed down
admitting
once
to
you
the
got through.
concept that men stop trying.
I wouldn't say I stopped trying. I would say
I think
a peacock is not always flexing his feathers.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna just put that there. Feel
That
me? The
is-
feathers are always there. I can always just fan them out whenever you need, but I'm not gonna like have them
That's
on
a-
24/7.
That's a valid way to put it.
Thank you very much. I think that's where I would go with that. But yeah, where we at now?
Dream, you're gonna say something? Nah. But yeah, oh man, that's an interesting analogy.
The peacock thing. I appreciate that.
I feel like you used that one before.
I've never used that one before. It actually just came to me. Okay, let us recap episode today because we're running out of time just shortly. We went over a lot of things. One thing I don't feel like we touched on enough was Doug Ford. And oh wait, no.
You get touched on.
I think are we supposed to censor that? Is there supposed to like because like they be
Dougie
taking out our
Dimmadome.
shit on TikTok because we say Doug Ford's name.
Doug Dimmadome.
Yeah, Doug Dimmadome. That's your new name. Mr. Dimmadome. Fuck you. You're a waste man. But yeah,
He's not wrong though.
I mean, am I lying?
I mean, it is the same guy who, like, back in 2024, he said, "Yeah, if you're homeless, just get healthy,
Guys,
get a job."
I don't want to be that guy.
What?
I don't want to be that guy. I just turned 19, so like, yay beer, I guess. But like, fam, the man removed slushy machines from gas stations to go put beer in gas stations
In grocery stores.
and grocery stores.
grocery
but
stores.
like, isn't drinking and driving bad? So why am I buying beer at the gas station? Like,
Why are you buying beer?
like, fam,
I just deep that.
because like, yo,
Nobody's walking to the
Bro,
gas station.
you never
for a
take
beer.
that in until it affects you though. Because like, fam, I'm driving around with the man them. Yo, it's a hot day. Yo, let's go get slushies. Fam, we went to like 7 different gas stations. None of them had slushy machines.
Guess what they
are
all
we
had
doing?
though? Guess what they all had?
They all had a new wine rack and a beer rack.
Bro, it's just
ready for
business.
them. It is
Fam,
business.
but, like,
Beer is selling more than
Can we
slushies.
deep
You have
how
to
bro
grow
said
up.
it? At a gas station though, like man said it, drinking and driving is not legal. So first of all, how you get into the gas station?
and then
And then you're leaving
I
with the
swear
bev
Doug
from the
Ford
gas station.
was the same guy in 2 accidents, like back to back with a drunk driver.
Bro, remember when COVID popped off, LCBO was still open. They couldn't lock LCBO.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Don't forget that. Don't sleep on alcohol and how important it is.
It's because
Alcohol, prostitutes, and drugs. Don't sleep on how
Yes.
those things
Yes.
are
Because
a beneficial part of the community.
the minute
I
you-
would
if you
not
use it
say
right.
beneficial.
If you use it right.
it's
No,
not okay.
Whoa.
Let's say
Wait, can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
How can you use prostitutes right?
Because, bro, there's mans
Yeah.
out there that they can't manage if they don't let off a little thing. But maybe
That's not ridiculous.
But listen, but maybe he doesn't know how to talk when he gets in front of a girl. He doesn't even know how to get there with a girl. So it's just easier for him to drop a $180 and do
listen,
his thing. I'm just saying, yo, listen,
Like,
listen.
human exploitation is wrong across all.
It's not
boards.
exploitation if she wants to do it.
Exactly. There's
She's exploiting
that's
herself.
different because at the end
Wait,
of the day-
Jalen, what do you think about this? Sorry to interrupt you, Raheem. I just really want to know what you think.
you know, like as like a woman and just prostitution is not good. It a lot of the times it is sex work, human trafficking, like sex trafficking. If a woman wants, there's no choice in sex work most of the time. A lot of it is violent. a lot of it is rape, a lot of it is unconsensual, and so I don't think prostitutes.
Those situations, for sure. We're not
That's
even
like
talking
all
about
situations though.
Nah,
Like,
it's
I
not
swear
because
80% of Pornhub was rape content or some shit.
Can I ask you a question though? Do you feel like the women out there that would only deal with a man because of money, don't you feel like that's a form of prostitution?
I do believe that's a form of prostitution. Definitely, but I also feel that that is patriarchal conditioning.
Can I ask a question? Sorry to interrupt you. The same way there's men that would only deal with Galdem, or Galdem would only deal with men for money. There's certain men that would only tolerate a Galdem so they could bust nuts. And like on the flip side, I wouldn't say that's prostitution, but that's also like, I guess, manipulation in that sense.
Not if she knows that's what you want.
Yeah.
Okay. So, again, human exploitation is wrong across the board. Like, we can all agree that. So, no matter what the argument is, like, if the women are coerced into it, then it's wrong. Like, no matter if they make money in the end, maybe they don't want to do it. Maybe some women want to do that in the future. Who are we to stop them? That's their choice. But that's not like... What I'm trying to say is... What am I trying to say?
Can I ask this? Have you guys ever considered why there's so many few I'm gonna like sound like a gooner when I say this, but just bear with me. There's not as many male porn stars as there are niggas that beat off. The proportionate, like there's not a direct proportionality. There's not enough male porn stars versus niggas that.
It's not just for a guy. It's not just fucking. It's not just. You have to be able to do your thing with the light like this. The light is on. There's 3 cameras on you. For the girl, I'm not trying to like. It's just different. She just has to just be there and be willing and participate.
I will say there's a lot of acting. There is a lot of acting on the ladies' part, though.
For sure, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about like bodily functions now. A man has to get up and stay up and perform.
Viagra.
Viagra too, yeah.
Yeah, there's that. But do you really want to lean on that?
I mean, so now we're talking about the ethics of porn acting now.
I remember my issue now.
I'm just explaining why there's more mans that are watching it than
you're
doing
right.
it.
I get that.
The issue with when bringing money into the equation, it automatically becomes manipulation and evil because niggas always want to make the most money. So, like, then they stop caring about what the girl wants. Like, maybe she started off because she had to pay her bills. Maybe, like, she couldn't get a job or whatever.
Yo, I'm watching a show right now called Deuce, and I'm on, like, the 5th episode of the 1st season. I encourage you guys to watch it. It's ironically what we're talking about. It's how pimps and hoes or prostitutes, whatever, how they were living at a certain time and how basically the porn industry started in America. And honestly, I know it's a show, but bro, shows like HBO, I mean a network like HBO, they do a lot of research before they do a show. Like there's a lot of facts in their shows if you've watched any of their shows.
What was it called?
It's called Deuce.
Deuce. Another show recommendation I wanted to just throw out there since I remember this guy put me on that. I think it was called Bondi or Bandy.
Yeah, my mom just told me about
that shit is fucking fire, bro.
Yeah,
and I would say it's a really great depiction of like how people fall into those circumstances, how stuff like that can happen to someone. Even though it's in French, I got hooked on that shit by like 2 episodes. Wow. Shout out Raheem though, bro. Put me on that. What'd you think about that show?
Overall, it was a good watch. It opens your perspective, like, to connections and family dynamics. Because it's like, especially coming from like, I'm like, what, a 3rd-gen Jamaican? So I was born in Canada, but like my mom was also born in Canada, but her parents are Jamaican or whatever. So I've only been a few times, and it's like, I can't really say I know my culture for real because all I've known my whole life is just everything I've seen in Toronto. So it's like getting a different depiction of family and connections, seeing what it's like to be in that framework of like a single mother raising like 7 picnic is different. Everyone's trying to do their own thing. She's trying to make sure mans are staying in line. Mans are not picking up the drugs or whatever. Trying to make sure that everyone gets the good life. Like, and it's hard at times, especially because she believes that she knows best. And with any ignorant mindset, it's not even just like a parental mindset. Like, when you have that mindset, it is hard to communicate or get points across. It's always hard to see eye to eye with people like that.
And again,
So
7
it's like-
people in the house, man.
Exactly.
You can't look at all 7 of them at the same time. You don't have 7 eyes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just really opened up to like family connections, perspectives. You never know what anyone's actually going through, what they're trying to do to provide for the family. That's the thing. It's like sometimes you'll be trying to do the right thing, but it'll be the wrong way. So you'll get judged and only seen for doing the bad. And unfortunately, that's all there is to it. Because at the end of the day, until you make good, they're only gonna see the bad.
That's why you gotta lead with grace. You gotta have grace in life, because exactly what you said. You don't know what people are going through, and then there's gonna be a time when you want someone to give you a little grace. So what you put out there is what you get back. So
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
With that, I think it's time to close it up. Let's close in statements because we are running low on time. But today's episode was beautiful. I love that we had the cast here. Jalen finally made it to us. Thank you so much. She was supposed to be here last time. Fortunately, she wasn't, but
Shit
she's here today.
happened, yeah.
Raheem also supposed to be here last time, but in school, so wasn't.
Yeah.
Vivid, our special guest, a legend, man.
Awesome
Yeah,
guy.
for showing
that's
up.
a good conversation,
Of course. We hope to have you again soon, hopefully. Kielo, man, you have anything you want to leave us with?
Hey, man. Great episode today. Great overall day. The spirits were high. And, yo, I hope you guys all do good.
Anything
fruit
from this
trees.
side? Any comments, statements? It's all editable. Don't worry. We're gonna
Okay,
look through it.
awesome.
Do your thing.
Awesome.
We're gonna edit it.
Edit. I don't.
Any final statements? You're good. Take your time.
Final statements. Love your life.
Of your life, Raheem.
Final statements. Yeah, like I don't know. It's weird. It's like
This guy's gonna get into
Wake
a new
up.
one.
wake up and enjoy your day.
Yes, sir.
Just have a good day. Yeah,
What
have a
was-
good
have a good
night.
day.
Have a
What
good
What was that one
episode.
text he said? Something about bun spliff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna finish that.
Okay.
Reed Gallon Bun Spliff. Literally.
but I don't know about all that. But
If you look at all the animals throughout all walks of life, there's one thing that human nature always has. Getting inebriated, is that the
just
word?
say hi, bro.
Getting fucked up off substances and breeding, okay? Tigers use catnip. They have fucking litters all the time, okay? Koalas
yo,
do fucking opioids.
my bad. I'm
The
not trying
point
to.
is-
I'm not trying to interrupt your message. Your message is get high and breed something.
Get high and fuck bitches.
No. The
Bun
message is,
spliff and breed.
the message is, if you don't know what you need to do in life, all you need to do is fuck y'all and bun split.
Not double down. That's it. Nah,
Thank you so much, guys. That was a wonderful episode. You have anything you want to close out?
Yo, after that, nah. Just love yourself. Just respect yourself.
You respect your
Fruit trees in the hood, man. I think that was awesome. All right, we wrap them up. Thank you guys so much.